cranking the 10. We pulling the pin and bombing they spot. Cheer from the stands, I hate from the benches. We in the trenches, fought off the block. Champion fam, my mission to rock. Pressing they mans, I'm blitzing the op. Go get it in and double your ends and stack up your wins. And guess what you got? Money shot, money shot, money shot, money shot, money shot, money shot. One shot, last shot, money shot, money shot, money shot, money shot, money shot, money shot. One shot, last shot, money shot, money shot.
If you guys are looking for fast, cheap, reliable MUT coins, check out my coin sponsors at MMOXP.com and use discount code MONEYSHOT for 6% off your order. Link in the description below.
The champ is here!
Welcome back, Money Team. This is Madden Money Shot. Stepping up the Madden cheese as always. In today's video, I'm going to show you guys one of the most effective and easiest blitz/coverage schemes in the entire game, as I'm literally going to go for the NFL record for interceptions by a player in this game. But before I do, as always, if you guys want to see more videos like this, please make sure to be a subscriber, hit the like button, let me know in the comment section. Other than that, let's go get right into the video. Now, the plays I'm going to show you guys today are out of the 3-4 odd, which can be found in a lot of different playbooks, but I'm using my Raiders defensive ebook, where I break down a lot more plays from this formation. So if you guys need more help or more money plays, you can download this or any of my ebooks instantly set by clicking links in the description or the top pinned comment. Now I'm going to show you guys 3 plays you should have in your audibles at all times for this scheme to work, starting off with the cover 4 drop, which is going to be a defense that I use later in the game. But at the start of the game, I'm also going to be using the cover 2 hard flat play, as well as the Tampa 2, as these last 2 plays may look the same, but they react very differently after the patch. And for my coaching adjustments, the most important one is going to be to set your safety depth to close, so that your safeties are playing 8 yards off the line of scrimmage to help them get in the pass lanes more often. Now, one of the reasons that you have to have access to both of these plays post-patch is because in the update on September 17th, they literally said that they updated the hook curl defender depth to basically adjust when you play over the top or underneath. So if you were playing cover 2 before and you were just playing underneath, that only would affect the flats. Well, now it also affects things like the vert hooks and the mid read. So if I play underneath from a Tampa 2 like we have here, and we keep an eye on this mid read who's supposed to take away middle of the field when it comes to between the 2 deep zones, you're going to see how in this play he's not going to drop back. He's going to stay down around the line of scrimmage, which is going to make that area of the field very vulnerable. So now instead of playing over the top or underneath, because it's going to affect those depths, if you want to switch to an underneath defense, you just have to switch to Tampa 2 hard flats or Tampa 2, and you'll notice now that the mid read will drop back the same way that he's supposed to, covering the deep middle, and then we still have good coverage across the board everywhere else. So since the mid read has a really important job of taking away any deep throws over the middle between the 2 safeties, and these vert hooks do a really good job of matching and following receivers, whether they're going to the outside above the cloud flats or crossing over the middle, I think the best player to use a lot of times is going to be this blitzing outside linebacker here. And that's simply because he has no responsibility, so I can use for this play and do whatever I want, having full confidence that the mid read and vert hooks will take care of just about everything else on the play, as on the very first play we almost get a play on the ball.
Oh, you almost had it.
Now there's also a really good blitz that you can do from this setup that I broke down in a previous gameplay that I will have popping up on screen at the end of the video, as well as in the top right hand corner right now, as this is one of the reasons that I use this defense. All you have to do is put this linebacker here on a blitz, and that's it. As you're going to see on the very next play, that either he's going to get pressure or he's going to pull the blockers inside to the point where the outside edge rusher is going to get pressure. The biggest weakness when it comes to cover 2 defense, though, is its run defense, as these safeties drop back immediately, giving you no help in run support as he gets a big run the next play. So on 3rd and 5, I send that blitz again, only this time nobody picks up the blitzing inside linebacker.
We could go! Woo!
And on 4th and 5, you're definitely going to want to play that hard flat cover too, as we really get to see the value of these matching vert hooks as he carries this receiver up the field onto the mid read before switching over to the crossing route and almost getting an interception.
Nope.
On offense, I start out this game using a formation called the gun you off trips, as this play here is a one-play touchdown against every single defense in the game that I just put out yesterday, although I do take the running back on the very first play before my opponent forces me to a 3rd and 8 and I have to take the deeper route and almost punch it in from here. From here, I switch over to the motion PA jet cross, as all these crossing routes are really good in short yard situations like this, as I just have to wait for this tight end to cross the field as this swing route pulls the defender down and we get a wide open touchdown over the top. But if you guys want to see more from this offense, I will have a link on screen at the end of the video, as well as popping up in the top right hand corner right now. Now, most people think that the weakness of cover 2 is going to be the area between the hard flat and the deep zone. And while that may be true of some cover 2s, it's not when you have a vert hook like this. As you're going to see, he's going to carry this receiver up to a point before he passes it off to the safety.
How about no?
And on the next play, he's going to try an even more common concept by trying to beat this defense over the top with a corner route.
Got him!
But you can see how much range this hard flat has as we get an interception. Back on offense, I'm running the exact same play by taking the running back underneath and getting almost to the first down marker before I run an RPO play to get the first down the other side of this tight end comes across. And I should have took that running back underneath once again as I try to force it deep for the touchdown.
Oops.
And end up throwing an interception instead. Back on defense, we played Tampa too, and everything is pretty much bagged here until I come down and miss a tackle, letting him get the first down, before I blow an even worse tackle on the next play, trying to come down with the safety, essentially letting him score in 2 plays.
Damn it!
And it makes things worse. My opponent decides to go for 2, and I was trying to use the middle of the field, but once I realized that I'm actually using the safety above a hard flat, no less, I decided I have to cover that area, leaving the middle of the field wide open for an easy 2-point conversion. Back on offense, I switched to another offensive formation that I plan on putting out content from my Washington Commanders offensive ebook called the Tight Offset TE, where I'm going to use the spot play for this entire drive. As all I have to do is put this X receiver on a flat and this B receiver on a streak, and the X receiver will get open against any zone coverage, while the A receiver will get open against just about anything man or zone, as I take the flat on the very next play. And because of that flat, he hard flats on the next play, but that just lets the A tight end get wide open over the top. As I start every play watching that flat route as we get a first down the next play, before going right back to it once again on the next play for the score. On the next series, my opponent spreads me out with an empty backfield look, and you can see that since the mid-read is all the way on the left side of the field, that he can't really get over to cover that, as I try to user that, but the user rush pulls me in on the very next play, allowing him to complete a very big pass over the middle, before he hurries me up to do it again, and I thought the mid-read would take over, but he never does.
God damn it!
As he scores quickly on 2 plays. I get the ball in the second half, and I go right back to that flat route, even though he's watching it like a hawk now. We still get the first down, before I go for a big play to the other side of the field to the tight end once again, and then I see that he's not really respecting the run, so I switch over to the 0-1 trap, which is definitely the best run play in this formation, before he completely bags me inside the red zone. I have to settle for a field goal and the lead. Back on defense, now that he's having more success against this cover 2 by hitting corner routes and going over the middle, I decided to switch my coverage shell to cover 2 before switching my defense to the cover 4 drop, in the hopes that I will now bait him to throw into these same areas and get some easy interceptions. This is also the best run defense in the formation. As you can see on the next play, he tries to run, but the safety comes down and makes this tackle at the line of scrimmage. As I still find that playing underneath and hard flatting these edge defenders is the best way to go, before the confusion causes my opponent to hold on to the ball in the very next play, and I push in the right stick to send the hard flat after the quarterback as I tackle the tight end for a loss of 2 yards, before he tries to hit that corner out one more time.
Gotcha, bitch!
And Adoree Jackson comes up with his second pick of the game, only this time he's going to the house, as this guy is turning into the MVP of this defense. The hard flats do a really good job of taking away these underneath routes too. As you can see on the next play, we get a stop for only a 2-yard gain, before we use the hard flat on the next play and we get a knockout on another corner route. He does eventually get a first down on a short route over the middle of my area before he tries to hit that flat once again.
Gotcha, bitch!
Only this time Nolan Smith jumps in front of it and is going the other way for another touchdown.
That's just too easy!
Now down big, I know my opponent has to throw the ball down the field, so I'm not going to be hard flatting anymore, as I'm either going to leave it alone or I'm going to play underneath and then play over the top once again to turn these into cloud flats. But I noticed that these cloud flats don't drop back into their zones as quickly as curl flats do, so I decided leaving the curl flats going forward, but not before my opponent throws another interception to Adoree Jackson for his 3rd of the game, which is one shy of the NFL record of 4 in a game by one player. Back on offense, since my defense is clamping it down, I just run the ball 3 times and punt it away, as I'm supremely confident at this point that my opponent doesn't have enough time to get back into this game, even with big chunk plays like that, as he only has 2 minutes, he has to score twice, so I'm basically using this cover 4 like a prevent at this point, just leaving the curl flats out there, as he does get down the field before we get a really good shed from our nose tackle to get a sack to get him outside the red zone, before we get a huge stop to force him to 4th and 8, and I thought about changing my zone drop flats to try to mirror the line to gain or the end zone, but I just go back to default, leave it as is, and you can see on the next play that was the right call, is everything is locked up. He tries to run some sort of crosser and has to force it to a comeback route. And my opponent's going to rage quit from here, but not before tying the NFL record for most interceptions in a game by a player with Adoree Jackson getting 4 by himself.
See ya.
So I'm going to end the video there, but if you guys want to see more about the offense or defense that I was using in this video, I have it pop up on screen, so just click the links. And until next time, thanks for watching, man. Lash it out. Need more help or just want to show your support? Then head over to my Patreon and join my team, where you can get exclusive content like ebooks and bonus plays, as well as early access to my vids and more. Link in the description below.